For everyone there, they're telling us that the assessment consists of 2 examination papers. We have paper 1, which is made up of 2 items, and then paper 2, which is made up still of 2 items. Paper 1 is made up of 3 items. The learner has to do 2, and then paper 2, it is made up of 2 items. We have to do both of them. Both items are compulsory. So now, putting that aside, the learner should know that under ICT paper 1, we have 2 core constructs, where we have construct 2 and construct 4. We are going to see what is embedded in each element over there. Then in paper 2 still, we have construct 1 and construct 2, where we are going to understand still in line with this paper, what can we do and what are we supposed to do in line with what I have prepared for you. Remember that in ICT, what you have to know that under construct 1, we look at digital content creation, where we say that the candidate should be exposed to electronic presentation, computer word processing, and electronic publication. We are going to check that. Then construct 2, we look at ICT systems, operations, and maintenance, where we say that the learner should be exposed to 3 topics, including introduction to ICTs, computer hardware, and computer software. Then construct 3, we look at data and information management, where we are saying that in here, the candidate should be exposed to electronic spreadsheet and electronic databases. Then construct 4, we look at digital communication and emerging technologies. For those that have blended more time into ICT paper 1, you have seen that item 2 and item 3, it is calling more on this construct, where we are saying that the learner should be exposed to the internet and digital communications, blending in AI and related emerging technologies, as we are going to be checking together. So they are telling us we are going to first respect an item. We are going to first respect an item 1 under ICT paper 2. Then after that, I will take you under item 1, ICT paper 1. So after getting that glimpse, then I will end the call. Don't forget, if you have any question, please type it in the comment section. I will be able to respond to it there and then. So they're telling us that we are going to first have a glimpse, a total understanding on what the candidate should understand every time we are discussing about ICT paper 2 as the first area of focus. Let's start from here and see what the candidate should have brought out. 1, we are going to use item as assessment facilitation, where I'm doing an item. As the learners watching over there, you keep checking with me, keep following, see how I'm interpreting the question as we work out together. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start understanding the new curriculum in line with ICT paper 2, item 1. Here we go. I have a simple task. Over here. It is from the Mutebi ICT Examination Consult, where they are telling us that Mutebi Secondary School has observed that many Senior 5 and Senior 6 learners are uncertain about the career path they should follow after completing secondary school. Some learners select subject combinations without understanding the career opportunities linked to them. They're telling us that while others have limited knowledge of university programs, vocational training options, entrepreneurship opportunities, digital skills, online safety, and responsible use of technology in the modern workspace. So they're telling us here that to respond to this concern, the school has organized a career guidance and digital skills expo for Senior 5 and Senior 6 learners. The expo is intended to help learners understand career pathways, university programs, choices, vocational opportunities, business startup ideas, digital skills required in different professions, and how to prepare themselves for further studies or employment. They are telling us that the school administration has invited representatives from universities, vocational institutions, business startup centers, ICT companies, and former students to address learners during the expo. They're telling us that the invited guests will guide learners on subject combinations, admission requirements, practical skills, career choices, and entrepreneurship and safe use of digital technologies. They're telling us that Miss Sanyu, now look, they're now calling the candidate, they're calling now the new curriculum learner that please come and see. Miss Sanyu, the deputy head teacher in charge of academics, has approached your ICT class because you have been studying digital content creation. Nice. Using word processing, presentation, and desktop publishing software, your ICT teacher has therefore selected you to help prepare professional digital materials that will be used before and during the expo. They're telling us in this same line that please, some of the information has been provided in the support files. The materials should be suitable for printing, presentation, and sharing with learners, teachers, invited guests, and parents. Now, after looking at such areas of focus where they're telling us the information we are going to use, it has to be in line with what we can share with parents, printing, presentation, and all that. Look at this sweet task. The task is here. They are telling the new curriculum A-level candidate looking for top grade that please design professional digital content to support the successful organization of the Career Guidance and Digital Skills Expo. This is what we want to do. Now, taking you just a step back here, I want you to pick this line. They are telling the candidate doing the curriculum that please, in ICT, when it comes to construct number 1, they are telling us that here the candidate should be in position to do what we call digital content creation using topics such as electronic presentation, computer word processing, and electronic publication. Now, putting this on hold, I want us to take a step, just a few steps here. Those that have been able to interact with our dear teachers, I hope and I believe that our teachers have at least exposed us to the UNEB samples that have been released a few weeks back. In these UNEB samples, the UNEB people have been able to guide us, telling us that as the candidate is responding to item 1, what are some of the key running components that the learner should adhere to. For example, if I'm to take this glimpse, they are telling us that the candidate is expected to use 2 to 3 applications, including word processing, desktop publishing software, and presentation. Now, they are telling the candidate that please apply all document manipulation skills. Apply all document manipulation skills to address the challenge in the scenario. Produce the required number of products to fully address the challenge in the scenario. Look at the key marking elements. I may not be able to go through all of them. That as we end the call, please run very fast to your dear teacher. Tell them, teacher, kindly allow us look into the key marking manipulation skills that UNEB published. As you do your item 1, you should be knowing that they are going to assess us based on editing and modifying content, formatting and structuring data. They're going to look at organizing information, and then they're also going to look at integrating different types of data. And lastly, they're also interested in what we call advanced information organization. So, if you look at every single inner detail, will give you a sense of direction, will give you an area of focus as you run through these different items at hand. Learners listening and observing, I want you to pick your pen, keep writing every single aspect you find new or you find challenging, so that after the call, you can go and ask your teacher how to adjust and how to improve on a specific attribute or a specific element as we are going to be working together. Let's go and we start rocking every single detail down. Now, I have been able to structure these products For example, I'm going to be responding to this item 1 about Mutebi. The learner has used over 3 applications. The learner has used, when you look here, under item 1, the learner has been able to respond to this item in over 4 sections. Let me see whether we have that over here. Yes, the learner has been able to use he has been able to use word processing to design some responses, as we see over here. Look at what the learner has designed. Has thought it was, let me design some letters which we are going to share with our top-notch people as we are going to check the scenario together. But when you look at how this learner is structuring the letters, is going on to add exceptional skills, formatting features, and see that at least we get scores from the item setter. Learners listening, I want you to keep this in mind, that as you respond to item 1 in ICT paper 2, what are you supposed to know? 1, we have to use what we call word processing. You are supposed to use what we call word processing over here. The learner should use publication. The learner should use publication applications such as MS Publisher. The learner should also use what we call presentation software, which we are referring to maybe in simple terms, since we are very versed with what we call Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. So these 3 applications should be at the tip of whatever you are going to do. For example, when you check on what I have provided, that I used word processing to design invitation letters to the guests who will be talking to our Senior 5 and Senior 6 candidates. But when you take a close eye, you see that the learner has applied exceptional skills, including editing options, use of colors, inserting headers and footers, using drop caps, inserting watermarks, putting signatures, putting headers, page numbers, designs, to mention but a few. So as you go into these items, please and please explore, hit high, do a little more work if you are to get marks over there. The learner also went on to use desktop publishing software to design what? To design a simple brochure that we can share with our guests or the people that won't be able to make it to the event. Now look at what the learner has done. The learner has applied multiple skills. There is a little more touch on the aspects and the ideas that the candidate has really showcased as they do this item. Now, we are going to see together how can we replicate something like this. And lastly, the learner used PowerPoint presentation. At least to come up with a document, to come up with a presentation that will be used by the guest speakers as they spread the gospel to the Senior 5 and Senior 6 learners. But when you look at this presentation, the learner has given it time. The learner has applied skills. The learner has inserted the support material. The learner has added smart art, action buttons, background colors, sound, and all that has been applied. So those that are still doing substandard work, you are doing shabby work, we are going to be under problems in the curriculum. Why? Because we are looking for skills. Now, let's go and we start manipulating this item together. The candidate is supposed to create a folder with their full name and personal number. That is the first aspect you have to do. Right-click in space, go to option in new, and then look for folder. Save with your full name. I will say Mutebi Ratib, and the personal number. My number is 120. Please save your folder with your full name. Some of us are misled. Since at school, we have our best friends, whom we normally call besties. Those besties have given you some weird names, like my chocolate, names like apple of my eye, names like Queen Kamas, names like Queen of the Jungle, names like My Heartbeat. So don't risk yourself to come and say, since you have a bestie at school who calls you Sweet Pie, you come and say, my name is Sweet Pie 0120. Please, you are going to get 0 there and then because we shall not be able to identify you. Don't come and say, I'm a fan of John Black. You come and say, my name is John Black. If you're not John Black from primary, please and please don't use John Black here. Why? Because when you do that, you are going to go into problems. Don't call yourself the school slayer. You'll get problems. Come and type your full name, Mutevi Ratibu 12120 if it is your personal number. Then after putting that in shape, I want you to click it and then create 2 subfolders there. The first subfolder is for item 1. Right click in space, go to option in new, and then choose I folder, then come and say item 1. Look at how I'm naming my work because I don't want to make any mistake. I want to be sure that everything that I want to present has been well articulated and well presented. Then I go, I say item 2. I also create a folder. I say this is item 2. You might ask yourself, teacher, why are you creating 2 subfolders? Because in ICT A level paper 2, the learner has to do 2 items. But in this first session, teacher is focusing on item 1. I'm focusing on item 1. So now after creating my folders, the learner will go on and take a quick review of the support material. If you find out that you're missing on any aspect in this session, please feel free to call me and consult. My number is 0784 657421, or just send me a message and then I'll be able to respond to you. Now, when we check here, the learner has been provided with the support material, which I'm going to present over here to see that at least we can start going through step by step and we get every single detail together. Let me first put them here, the support material. Thank you everyone following, and thank you for keeping time and being very, very intentional as we keep learning from one another. I appreciate our teachers that are still monitoring and supervising us up to the end, up to where we are now. All right, so now we are going to start by I want us to start by understanding on what we have in the support material. When you check the support material, the learner has been given very good, nice, sweet images that we are going to apply where we have a logo, where we have very many more other attributes as you see over here. Still, the learner has been given a career guidance. As we see here, there is even a document that they have provided to us, which is also very good, and we are going to be using it here and over again. So after looking at this, I will now say, what can I do as a new curriculum candidate that is looking for an A? So I will come and say, now the learner can start manipulating the item. Let's start by using word processing. My folder here, I will come and say, let me create a Word document. I right click, go to option in new, and then choose Microsoft Word document. I say, I'm going to say, this is mail merge letters for guests. Mail merge letters for guests. Now, after putting this here, I'm going to start applying all the details and see that we get every single aspect there. Okay, hope I'm back. Can people hear me there? I should be back. Those that are following up, I should be back loud and clear. Okay. Am I back, people? All right, so now I want us to start applying the few details and then we get every single aspect done. So now looking at this, the learner will come and say, I'm going to start by creating a Word document where we are going to apply a few skill sets here and there to come up with the best result as we get every single detail captured. Now, learners watching and listening to me, I want you, please and please, I want you to appreciate what we call reading and comprehension. Every time you are responding to these items or the questions, please and please go on and be able to read the scenario and understand it very, very well. For example, here they're telling us that the material we are going to create will be used by learners, teachers, and invited guests. And when you look at this updated folder, which has our support material here, if you look at our updated folder, which has the support material, you see that the learner was given sources that they can use. For example, when I open here, I see that I have a set of information about guest speakers, where we have the speaker name, organization, session topic, career area, contact, body, material. So looking at all this, where we are saying that every person is going to be having the speaker name, organization, where they're coming from, the session topic, and all that. So the learner should start now thinking, how are we going to apply some of these resources in the scenario? I'll come over here and say, we have also the Career Expo content, which is talking about the background, the expo theme, the target audience, and then the program which we are going to be following in the session. Now, after looking at all this, we are going to start applying skills. We are going to start getting things fixed to see that the learner picks the best from the item and we get every single detail well captured and contained within. So I'll come over here and start by manipulating my spreadsheet file, my word processing file. Let me start by designing a header. I say Bamutebi Secondary School, where we have, then I can also go on and say, maybe let me put the box number, P.O. Box 1234. I say maybe Kampala, Uganda. The learner has started adding skills to see that we get every detail together. They can also go on to put some contact info because they're designing files that we can give to people that have come to attend and those that are still or that won't be able to attend the session. So we are going to use word processing to send some letters to the guest speakers who will be facilitating our learners. 25676, and then maybe that. And then the learner can go on to add maybe 0784, like that. So they can also go on and put an email. I say bamutebi at gmail.com. bamutebi@gmail.com. Now, after looking at this, I will go on and start structuring this letter. I'm going to be sending these letters to the people who are going to be supervising our learners. So I say in here, let me do some adjustments. Let me say the learner will apply maybe a uniform font style. Let me take font size 16. And then for the top heading, I can go on to increase its size a bit. I say, let me maybe change its color to that. I bold it and then add more adjustments. I check here, I add that, and after that, I can go on to put a separator. Go to insert, click shapes, and choose a separator. I put here. I want to put a separator here. Let me go oak and then be able to put a separator over there. So this separator, I'm just trying to see that as the learners are doing the work, they are coming up with exceptional results. They are being very vigilant, very keen to detail if we are to get the best out of this activity. So I'll come over here, I put another shape, I say, let me maybe apply a uniform, a different color there. Then I'll go back to my support files. I say, what can I add that will catch the examiner's eye as they look into my work? I go back to the support material, I find a logo, I Ctrl+C copy, and then come and paste it in my work over here. I say, I'm going to put a logo up there. When I paste it, I find that, oh, the logo is too big. But now we remember that, teacher told us that we can easily resize this logo so that it is under manageable size. As simple as that. So after I'm going to compose these letters, I say, maybe we are going to say here, we are going to have two. We are going to be sending this letter to who? Yes, I say, maybe dear who? We are going to check that. And then here we are going to put the ref and say, maybe re-invitation. Re-invitation as a guest, re-invitation as a guest speaker, for the career, for the career what? For the career guidance, for the career guidance, and digital skills expo. So after putting that, I can go on and put a simple statement. I say maybe, look, the administration, please don't sleep, the administration of what? Of Bamutebi Secondary School, is what? Invites you. Invites you to what? Invites you to address our learners, for senior 5 and 6, during the upcoming expo. I see. So the learner can go on and say maybe key details. I will say key details. Under key details, what do we have? We are going maybe to put the theme. The learner will put the theme there. Nice. Then I will also go on and say maybe your topic of presentation. I say here your topic. Then I can also go on and say also your audience. You have the audience, and then maybe we also have material needed, and then I will conclude my letter by saying yours faithfully. I say we go back to the scenario. When you check the scenario here, they are telling us that in the scenario, who was interested? Mrs. Sanyu, the deputy head teacher. So I'll come here and say yours faithfully, Miss Sanyu, I come and say deputy head teacher. So after putting this there, after putting this information into your work, I want to start by sending letters to my people who will be attending the session. I will do some adjustments. I go here, I highlight the reference area. I say, I want to align this center. I want to go on, bold it. I want even to change its color. Come here, I will take that color. I can even reduce the size. I can go on to what? To underline. So after putting that in shape, I can also go on and then make use of my support material. I say, let me highlight here. I give it that color, or let me give it color red. Yes. Then when we check back in our support material, we see that when you check the support material very well, we see that the candidate was provided with the key aspects with key details that we are going to be using. Let me access my support document. When I come over here, I say, is it under the Career Expo content? I want to see what do we have here. Yes, here we have the Expo theme. I can just come, highlight, Control C, come over here and paste, Control V. Yes, then the topic, the audience, our audience, we said we are going to attend to Senior 5 and Senior 6. So after putting this in line, I'll come over here and say, now what can we add? The learner can add drop caps. Go to insert and say drop caps. I can take this style of drop cap. I can also go on to beautify it by giving it some color. Now, when you remember, when I was looking through the support material, we saw that we had a document, we had a file which had the guest speakers information. So I say now here, the learner can use mail merge to send these letters to all these individuals. So I say, let me copy this information. I highlight, Control C, I come here and create another worksheet. Right click and then paste. When I paste it, this is the information we have. I come and double click to see that every single detail is put in shape. So I say over here, I'm going to refer to this as maybe mail merge sheets. Mail merge sheet. So I Control S, save changes. I'm going to be referring to this worksheet as I mail my information to the people that I want them to receive. So I'll come over here, Control S, save changes, and then close. After closing, I should remember that this file is saved under the Expo Photos folder on my desktop, and it's saved as Expo Speakers. So I'll come back here to my Word document. Over here, where is my Word document? My Word document is over here. So I'll come back to this Word document, which I'm trying to organize. I say here, I'm going to put the guest's name. So I say insert. I'll say mailings, select recipients. I say use an existing list. Click on it. Yes, I'll click on it. Now go on my desktop. There's a folder called the Expo Photos where I had put all my support files. I click here. The worksheet is called Expo Speakers. Double click. When you double click, we are going to use a worksheet called Mail Merge Sheets. So click on it and then click OK. Now, after putting that in shape, I'll just come here and say, now, what we are going to do, we are sending this letter to who? I come to insert merge fields, I insert the speaker name. I can also go on to insert the organization name. Go back, I can put a separator, I go back under insert merge field, I put organization. I still come here and say, dear who? Dear, I want to put maybe the speaker's name. It's you, the candidate, that is trying to think and see what you can do to bring out the message very, very well. Then I can also go here and say, what will be the topic? When I check back in my spreadsheet, every speaker had a topic. Go to insert merge field and say, session topic. Put it there. Continue, the audience already there. Material needed. I remember that in my support file, I also had the material needed by each individual. I come here, I insert a merge field. What else can we add? We can maybe first stop there. So when I get here, I will see that my information is here and everything is very, very well presented. But for a top candidate, don't just leave this work here. Go on and do some adjustments and make sure that every single aspect has been brought to life very, very well and well presented. So the learner will start adjusting areas to see what can we do to come up with stunning letters, to come up with top-notch results if we are to get a better grade this year. So I will come over here, I apply some coloring to format my document and get it to its best and see that every single aspect is well respected. So after putting it here, I ask myself, is this enough? You say no. Teacher said that at least you should have a header. I will come here, I say, let me put a header of my name and personal number, uppercase letters, Mutebi Ratib 1, 2, 3. My personal number is also there. I can go on to do some adjustments. I align it center and all that. On the same area, I can also say, let me insert headers and footers. I go to headers and footers. I say now here, I'm going to insert maybe date and time. I choose an option that depicts date and time. I click OK. After clicking OK, I will also go on and say, let me still put my name and personal number so that at least I customize this work to me, 120. So after putting that in shape, then I will ask themselves, is this enough? I say, no. I still have my time. They gave me 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I will move straight. I say, let me insert some watermarks. I go here. I say, I want to insert a watermark, go to watermark, say custom watermark, and then I say I want maybe to use picture or text. I put my name there, Mutebi Ratib 120. I can even change its color to something like this, etc, etc, etc. The candidate can also go on to say, let me apply some borders around my work. I go to borders, I click shadow, I come and choose an appropriate option that will bring about the message that you want to pick from the exam. Look at what the learner is doing. Look at how the learner is manipulating the word program. I can also go on and say, I can even put page color. I go to, I say, I want to use a catchy color which will pick the examiner's eye as they are assessing and giving us results. Look at what we are doing. Look at how the learner is using word processing to come up with better presentations. So I'll come and say now, putting this aside, let me go back to mailings before I can do one more touch. I say, I want my letters to come up stunning and very well formatted. So I'll come and do some designs. I go to shapes. I say, I want to insert a simple illustration to have my work appreciated by the person who will be marking. So I can go on. I say, let me go to shape fill. I can give this yellow. I go to shape outline. I say no outline. I Control C, Control V. I give this a different color. I say now, let me fill it with this color, and then I say no outline. So putting all this, I can still go on and do more adjustments. I say I've put in the corner there. Let me also go on and do more adjustments. I Control C, I Control V, copy, Control C, Control V, and then I want to position this on this other end. I want to position them here to see that we get the examiner's interest and we get marks as we are getting our new curriculum, which is looking at the learner being competent and presenting stunning work. To see that at least at the end, you present stunning work and at least you can do something better. If you look at the plan, this is what teacher had presented, but because of time I cannot exhaust everything, but I know at least you have seen what you have to do in word processing. If you're dealing with letters, you can even go on and sign on these letters to see that maybe since normal documents are always signed, I will come over here and say go to draw, choose any color of your choice. I say I want to use maybe this color. I come here and sign. So after signing, go back to mailings, go to finish mail merge, say edit individual letters, as simple as that, and click OK. If you click OK, you'll find that all your letters will be put here. All the letters for the guests will be put here. As you see, the learner has used the word processing to structure a formal document in line with the scenario. We are going to send this to our guests and see that at least we get some marks on that. Let's open another document, which is, we are going to open, don't forget to save. Go to File, Save As. I'll check this PC. I'll check this PC very fast. Our folder is no desktop. Mutebi 120. Under item 1, we are going to call it guest letters. So I come and save. my file over there. So I can now close word processing and we can get this done. So now I'm going to open and we see what the candidate could have, maybe PowerPoint presentation. What can you do to see that you get everything clear? Right click in space, go to option new, and then choose PowerPoint presentation. Come here, PowerPoint. I will say I'm going to save this file as Career Expo presentation. Career Expo presentation. Career Expo presentation. So I'm going to structure a formal presentation that will be used by the guest speakers as they come to address our senior 5 and senior 6 learners. Here we go. Double click the file to open. We start adding salt and see that we get best results, and the learner manipulates these applications in an ideal and accurate way. All right, let's see. Here is our file. Currently, it's blank. But those who are keen enough and observed what we had in the support material. When we check in this support material, we had what we call the career guidance and digital skills information, which was here. When you look here, we see that we have a document. Let me first erase this table so that we have every single detail well articulated. When you check here, we said, oh, we have a document that has been formatted in a way that we can use to just import this information into our PowerPoint. Check. When you look at the heading, we say under heading 1. If you look at the normal content, it's under the normal content. When you look at it, it's under which style? If you look at the normal content, it's under normal. Also, it's under heading 2, as we see over there. So I'm going to just import this information. I put into my PowerPoint. I start working straight away. So let's go. I'll move here. I'm going to close this file. It's called Career Guidance and Digital Skills Expo. I'll come over here and then start working with this. Go back to our of interest. It is over here, Mutebra 120, where we have a PowerPoint which we have just opened. A PowerPoint is over here. Go here and say, go to Home tab, click New, and then check what we have, Slides from Outline. What are we doing? I want us to import work from word processing. We bring it into our presentation. Go to Export Photos as our support document. The file is here called Career Guidance and Digital Skills Expo. Click on it once and click Insert. If I do that, we shall see that now the learner has imported. The learner has imported work from word processing into PowerPoint, as we see here. So after getting this, I will start editing and getting every single detail captured and put together. The learner will start by formatting, having key areas well presented. Due to time, I will not be able to take you through everything, but what you can do for me, you can go here, use the master slide to change the fonts. You can use master slide to change the images. You can go on to work on fonts, put action buttons, put career pathways, organize, insert images from the support material, do more, insert headers and footers, the way our teachers have been able to explain to us and teach us some of these attributes at hand. What I'm going to repeat is how to import data. Go to Insert, go to the Home tab, go to New Slide, say Slides from Outline, look for your folder on the desktop, look for the file you want to import, click on it once, and then click Insert. If you do that, you will see that your file will be imported from Word document and then put under the spreadsheet, under the PowerPoint file, as you see over here. So you can start editing and getting more details put there. Due to time, I will not be able to go through every single detail, but I know we are going to use the skills our teachers have explored with us and then be able to apply multiple ideas based on what I'm highlighting for you and then giving you a heads up and a startup. For example, When I open the sample document that I had created here, when I open the sample document, a sample PowerPoint that I created, I remember showing you this at the start, you see that the learner has been able to manipulate PowerPoint, putting headers, putting animations, putting transitions, applying colors, putting action buttons as you see them here, putting images, footers and headers, and all that. I know our teachers will be able to guide us more. What we want is the learner portraying that exceptional skill if you are to get things done. All right, still on the same item, the learner is supposed to apply or to use what we call desktop publishing, where you have to design a publication. I will come over here, I say under item 2, I'll move under item 1, I create a publication file. I right click, go to option new, and then choose desktop Microsoft Publisher document. Click on it, and then come over here and give it a name. I will say Career Expo Brochure, or poster, or flyer, depending on what the candidate can come up with. For this, I'm going to just illustrate, because of time, I'm going to just illustrate how you can do it. But remember, I have recorded these sessions on my YouTube channel. Just go up there, check. You'll be able to see how I've responded to such items, how I've been able to apply some key skills step by step, as you see here, O and A level. What you have to just come, type in Mutebi, you'll be able to see all these resources. Okay, now getting into our publication here. The learner will go on to design for me a stunning publication that we can use to come up with the top-notch results. For example, if I'm to design something dummy and chap, I'm going to move here. I say, let me go to design. I choose orientation. I say, let me take landscape. Under landscape, I want to design a publication that has at least a minimum of 2 pages. Go to insert, click page, and then insert a blank page. Then we start structuring the design. I'm going to start by saying, maybe at the top section, I'm going to put a simple catching statement. I go to insert, I choose shapes, I then move here, text box. I come and say, I'm going to put a catchy statement, which is maybe suggested expo program. Under suggested expo program, here I can go on to bold. I can change even the font to pick that stunning font that will catch the examiner's attention. I can increase the font a bit, as simple as that. I align center, as we see here. I'll go on, give it a clear color. I feed it with color. Let me give it color white. Oh, I can't see. It's fine. Go to shape format. I say on this shape, I'm going to use maybe this color. I see whether the design is coming out a little well. So after putting this here, I can now go on, make use of my support file. I say, what do we have in the support file called Expo Photos? Let me check here. Is it under Career Expo Content? Do we have yes, we had a program, suggested program. Come over here. I can even design it from this side. By the time I take it the other end, all is well and everything is well blended. Let me say the learner takes this design, something like this. So I'll come, highlight, Control C, come here and paste. I'll come here and then paste. I want to paste this in my publication. Control V. Oh, after pasting here, the learner will start now exhibiting exceptional editing skills. Exceptional editing skills to see that we structure a very nice design if we are to get every single detail in shape. So after putting this here, the learner can go on and say, I'm going to increase the font. I say maybe I'm going to take font size 13. I'm going to align center, and then I'm going to align the key labels. I'm going to align them and maybe make them all caps. All right. So after putting this aside, I can go on to design a simple poster, a simple banner on top. Come here, go to shapes, and then say, let me take a rectangle. I draw a simple shape over here. In this shape, the learner can go on and blend more with a scenario. I say the scenario over here, I'll go on and right click. I say add text. I put the name. I say the name is Mutebi. The name is Bamutebi Secondary. Bamutebi Secondary School. As simple as that. So I start structuring. I say, let me maybe break it a bit. I say I'm going to use this layout. I break from here. I come increase the font size. Go to home, increase the font size. After increasing the size, I can align center, and then I can bold. And after bolding, I can go on to put some adjustment. Font color, I'm going to take white, and then shape format, I'm going to take this format that will really catch the item setter's interest, and then shape outline, I will say no outline, as simple as this. Then after putting this here, I'll go on and do some adjustments. I say, let me put a logo. I go to my support material. I pick a logo. Where are you? It's over here. I have my logo here. Control C, come and paste the logo in your design. Control V. So when I come here, I'll resize a bit, as we see here. Yes, I can even go to wrap text. I say none so that I can easily move it and put it within my area of focus, as you see over here. Okay, so now after putting this here, you see that I can easily blend it and have my design done well. So I may not be able to design every single detail, but I know you have to go on, make use of action, make use of shapes, make use of fonts, make use of colors, and have every single attribute put together, and everything is very, very well balanced for the better, as you see over there. So I want to mention some of the things that I don't want you to miss, learners that are watching and listening to me. Every time you are designing a publication, please summarize this in your book. Every time you are working on a publication, these are the key attributes that I want you to portray. One, I want to include the organization logo. I want to see that in your publication. I want to see you inserting the organization name, if at all it is there. I want to see you inserting address, contact details, or feedback section. Those are key things that you should add in your publication. I want to see you putting captions to pictures to make them tally or carry meaning. I want to see you inserting footer with relevant information or design. For example, if I had completed this work, I was going to come up with something that I designed in the blueprint, which looks like this. Remember, I told you that the learner that was looking for an A, they should have spared time to understand the scenario and then come up with the responses that are in line with the activity at hand. For example, when we check here, I had designed a simple poster of 2 pages looking at inserting images. I've said key marking elements. I want the organization name, I want the logo, I want the captions on pictures. Here I'm showing captions on these pictures. I want to see footers. I want to see you structuring your work with clear borders and all that, as you see over here. So now, I may not be able to design every single detail because I also want to go check up on ICT paper 1, at least one item, before my time catches me. But if at all there is something you said you can't do, please don't hesitate to send me a message on my number. My number is 0784 657421. 0784 657421. Don't forget to go and check on the channel. I've recorded these lessons and everything is over there for you to go and apply. Now, what are the key takeaways? One, learners listening and watching. As you do ICT paper 2, item 1, you have to use a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 3. These applications include, I want to see PowerPoint presentation, I want to see word processing, I want to see publication, desktop publishing, or Microsoft Publisher. Those are the 3 publications. Those are the 3 applications that the learner should bring out very, very well. I'm going to put this item on hold, and then I'll wait for your queries. I'll wait for your calls. I will for you go check the channel and pick more resources from up there. The other task I was given talk about before my time come to the end was about ICT paper 1, item 1. It is still a challenge that learners, we are still struggling when it comes to ICT paper 1. We are still writing substandard responses which are going to cost us harshly. Learners are still failing to read and comprehend the grammar, which is going to make us lose out. So I'm going to give you an example on ICT paper 1, item 1, which focuses on introduction to ICT as a topic, computer hardware, and computer software, as you see over here in our tabulated table. Let's see using a sample activity. We go. I'm going to use this item here that I have organized and put here for us to have a check through. The item is over here. The item is over here. Yes. So we are going to use this item as you see. This paper under ICT paper 1, this paper is consists of 2 sections, section A and section B. Section A, the candidate is examined or evaluated in section A. The learner is given one item, one compulsory item, and this item looks onto the attached options. Learners, watch carefully and listen to this. As you're preparing for ICT, item 1, what are you supposed to keep at the back of your mind? Learners that are looking for top grade. ICT, item 1, focuses on the first construct, which is telling us that ICT systems operations and maintenance. Looking at introduction to ICTs, computer hardware, and computer software. Look, they're telling us that the candidate or the learner that has been taught the A-level curriculum sub-ICT should be able to operate a variety of ICTs, installs and maintains both hardware and software in compliance with acceptable standards to ensure the computer's optimal functionality and performance. This is our core argument that learners should keep at the back of their mind. They are also telling us that use of ICT tools in solving daily problems explains ICT management practices and ensures optimum system functionality. Here, they're telling us that any two of the installation, assembly, troubleshooting, and maintenance will surface. Let me use this example to make my learners watching and following to understand. Please check on your neighbor that is trying to doze. Tell them chance comes once on every man's door and it will never come back. So look here, learners watching, even if you understand this and we end the call, it will be very fine with me. Item When we are looking at item 1, ICT paper 1, the learner is examined on what we call ICT tools. Hope people are following. The learner is examined on what we call troubleshooting. The learner is examined on what we call software installation. Then the learner is also examined on computer assembling, and lastly, we are also examined when it comes to maintenance practices. So these areas, the learner should be vigilant about them. Before you go into the exam, please make sure that you have explored some of these areas: ICT tools, troubleshooting, software installation, and then computer hardware, computer assembly, and then maintenance practice, as we are going to see in the attached scenario. When you take keen observation, they are telling us in this item 1 scenario that Natural operates a small community service center near a trading center where local groups usually go for document preparation, printing, and electronic communication services. Okay. A farmers group, they're telling us here that a farmers group that is preparing for its next general meeting has brought handwritten records of the previous meeting. Look at this area of focus. Farmers group that is preparing for its next general meeting has brought handwritten records of the previous meeting, physical receipts for the money spent, and a flash disk containing images showing some of their achievements, such as garden work, harvested produce, and group training activities. The group has asked Natural to prepare the previous meeting minutes, produce a brief summary of the farmer's achievements using the images provided on the flash disk, keep soft copies of the physical receipts, produce 20 printed copies of the meeting minutes, and send a PDF copy to the chairperson's email before the next day's meeting. After preparing a sample copy of the minutes for checking, Natural attempted to print it. However, the printer stopped before completing the page, and the paper got stuck inside the printer. The printer displayed the message shown in figure 1. Natural fears delaying the farmers group because she does not know how to proceed or prevent the same problem from happening again. Look at the printer. They're telling us that an image showing paper jam. Look at the problem. They're telling us here the image showing paper jam. But since we said that at this level, we are going to be focusing on what we call high order thinking questions. Look at the use of the terms. Please, candidate, our task is here. Assess, my God. Assess Natural situation and advise her on how to serve the farmers group successfully. Bullet B, analyze Natural's printer behavior and advise her on how its current situation and future challenges can be addressed. Now we go back to square zero. I've informed you people following, my dear learners, my good people there, that ICT item 1 focus on ICT tools, troubleshooting, software installation, computer assembly, and maintenance. Now, when you check onto our sample item that we are going to be looking through, This item is telling us that, please, we are going to need ICT tools, we are going to need troubleshooting mechanisms, and then we are going to need what we call maintenance practices. Why? Because they're telling us that, please, analyze Naturala's printer behavior and advise her on how its current situation and future challenges can be addressed. Let's go and see what the candidate is supposed to bring out. Before, I want us to keep this in mind. One, we are going to evaluate learners basing on the following. Let me use an example here. Let me see, is it here? This is paper 2. So I want us to open. I hope our teachers have been able to expose us onto these areas. So I want to access them and then first show you something briefly before I take any extra step. Now, learners that are preparing to do ICT mocks and the UNEB exams, please take time and have keen understanding of the UNEB samples. At least they will give you an idea. They will give you a glimpse on what you have to know and how you should think and how you should resonate out matters. So I'm opening my guide for ICT paper 1. I'm going to only focus on item 1. They're telling us that the candidate is expected. Look, the learners watching and listening to me, we are expected to assess the situation and suggest the necessary ICT tools with their functions in addressing the challenges in the scenario. Where my learners are facing challenges, you prefer writing, they will need a keyboard as an ICT tool. Keyboard, typing work and stop there. Power cable, HDMI cable. Oh my God. If we do that, then we are gone. If we maintain that, we are going to get problems. Your neighbors say that, please, the candidate is expected to assess the situation and suggest the necessary ICT tools with their functions in addressing the challenges in the scenario. Bullet 2. Analyze the computer problems and describe steps to troubleshoot the existing computer challenge in the scenario and describe maintenance practices to keep the system in good working condition. My dear learners watching and listening, I want you to keep this in mind. That please, when it comes to ICT, paper 1, we are now calling for that demeanor. We are calling for the composure and the keen to detail. Go and read the scenario. Don't leave any stone unturned, because if you do that, we are gone. So, what should be our format of presentation? 1, the candidate is supposed to do the following. Give an introduction. That is 1, focused introduction. 2, we want to see a well-formatted body. And lastly, I want to see the conclusion. These are the 3 pillars that the learner should keep blending and understanding. What can I do? How can I do it? And then how can we present the information? So they are telling us here that introduction. I'm going to use this example to give you what I want you to present. Naturala needs appropriate ICT tools to type the various meeting minutes, prepare a brief achievement summary from the images stored on a flash disk, scan receipts, print 20 copies, and email a PDF copy to the chairperson. She also needs to troubleshoot a printer paper jam to ensure that the tasks are completed on time. The write-up below outlines the appropriate ICT tools and troubleshooting steps required. My God. So, after the learner looking at this, They will take keen observation that teacher said, as you introduce your question, one, learn as following. I want to see what we call the character. This is one. Two, I want to see problem identification. Hope people are writing. Problem identification. And lastly, I want to see the way forward. In your introduction, I want to see the character. Who is the character in the scenario? Nachuala. Very good. Two, I want to see the problems identified. Nachuala needs appropriate ICE tools to type previous